Like to see the warrant, and then I will let go. I would like to see the warrant, and then I will let go. Take it.
Again, an elected official, a candidate for New York City mayor, who they are rounding up for the crime of doing his responsibility. Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan. East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Breaking news. Trump's Gestapo ICE thugs have arrested another elected official, this time Brad Lander, who's New York City's comptroller, also a candidate for mayor of New York City. The primary for that mayor's race is next week. Let me show you the footage. This is at the Federal Immigration Courthouse, which we have covered. We were on the ground there last week, where ICE agents have been arresting immigrants right outside of their court hearings, even after their cases are dismissed, and rushing them to try and deport them. Lander was there earlier to try and observe what ICE was doing, and here's what happened.
You don't have a judicial warrant.
Keep going. Back up. Sorry, back up. I'm gonna make this difficult. Sorry. Back up. Just back up. Let's not cause any problems.
I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it?
Sir,
where is the warrant?
I have my hand here.
I would like to see the warrant. I would like to see the warrant, and then I will let go. I would like to see the warrant, and then I will let go. Take it.
Let's go.
You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Sir, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. You don't have the, I'm not obstructing, I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking for a judicial warrant? You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant.
Probably go too. Sorry. No way. I'm safe. Where are you taking him? Hello?
Since you have no authority to arrest U.S. citizens, where are you taking me? And with what authority?
Why are you arresting me?
With what authority?
And where are you taking him? No!
Security details. Number one is going to go with him, all right? Hang on, where's number one? Hold on. Brett, number one right here, all right? Thank you.
Again, an elected official, a candidate for New York City mayor, who they are rounding up for the crime of doing his responsibility, exercising his duty and responsibility to represent his constituents outside the ICE courthouse. If you couldn't, inside the ICE courthouse, if you couldn't hear, he was repeatedly saying, do you have a judicial warrant? I would like to see the warrant, and then you do not have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. He is a citizen. Let me read to you from The Guardian more details on his arrest. Again, this is after ICE arrested Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ras Baraka a couple of weeks ago, and has now indicted a Congresswoman who was also at the Delaney Hall center, the ICE detention center. So they are now arresting. They tackled U.S. Senator Alex Padilla last week, and now they have obviously done this to the comptroller for the crime of going to the immigration court and observing what ICE is doing. This from The Guardian headline: New York City comptroller Brad Lander arrested after immigration court hearing. New York City comptroller and mayoral candidate Brad Lander has been arrested by masked federal agents while visiting an immigration court. Gotta love that, you know? Everybody else has to take off their masks if you're a protester. But ICE agents, they don't have to. They could wear masks. They don't have to have any identification. They could be in plain clothes, street clothes. Lander's campaign spokesperson confirmed to Fox 5 New York that Lander was indeed arrested by ICE at immigration court. Lander appeared at 26 Federal Plaza to observe immigration hearings hearings involving individuals marked for potential deportation. He was arresting, according to the video footage, which I just showed you, as he and his staff walked with an immigrant who was being seized by federal agents earlier in the day. The immigrant had their case dismissed pending appeal, per AM New York. Additional footage of the arrest shows Lander telling immigration officials, "I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant." Quote, "You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens," asking for a judicial warrant. Lander's wife posted an update on her husband's X account less than an hour after the incident. "Hi, this is Meg Barnett, Brad's wife. While escorting a defendant out of immigration court at 26 Federal Plaza, Brad was taken by masked agents and detained by ICE. This is still developing. Our team is monitoring the situation." Putting aside that I, as you know from this channel, don't have a ton of love for politicians, Democrats or Republicans, if they could do this to politicians, to elected officials, what do you think they're going to do to you? Non-citizen and citizen. If they could tackle a U.S. senator at the press conference last week, that was Kristi Noem's press conference in L.A., for his crime of trying to ask the Department of Homeland Security secretary questions. They tackled him and dragged him out. If they could arrest a mayor in Newark, New Jersey for trying to go into the ICE facility there at Delaney Hall, which we just covered on the ground after 4 detainees escaped, and there was a riot inside because they have not been providing them adequate food and water for weeks, the detainees, that is. We were just there covering it on the ground, the protests. They arrested Ras Baraka, the Newark mayor, for trying to go inside to observe the conditions. Clearly, they didn't want him to go inside because the conditions are horrible and they're not giving the ICE detainees food and water promptly, timely, and they're giving them horrible food by all reports. Now they're arresting a mayoral candidate for escorting an immigrant who was, after his case dismissed, it seems, was going to be arrested themselves. And by the way, this is a pattern at the immigration courthouse in New York City and other courthouses around the country. Let me show you the footage that our reporter Ashley Bishop captured last week. She went down to that same courthouse that they just arrested the mayoral candidate, and she showed what they are doing to. She showed what they're doing to immigrants after their court hearings. So basically what they're doing is, even if a undocumented immigrant goes into court, in many cases for a hearing on their asylum request, even when their case gets dismissed or punted to later, they're immediately being rounded up by ICE agents outside and transported to another facility in the process of deporting them. They don't have access to a lawyer right away. It's a very quick, expedited removal. Reportedly, this process was engineered where ICE agents are basically waiting outside of the court hearings to round up more immigrants quicker by Trump's Joseph Goebbels, Stephen Miller. Let's show you the footage that Ashley got at this same courthouse last week as the ICE thugs were again rounding up more immigrants.
What's your name? No. This Banyo. Get up. This Banyo. No, not. Yes, he's coming too.
You don't have to respond to questions. You have the right to remain silent.
Get the jacket.
I'm an attorney.
Trying to get out of your way.
You do not have to confirm your identity.
Back up.
You don't have to give any identification. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to respond to any questions. You have the right to remain silent.
Over there.
No ID.
Get out the way.
Move.
Step out of the way.
That was footage captured by our reporter, Ashley Bishop. We have been on the ground covering the ICE reign of terror all over this country. Ashley and John have been covering protests in New York City. Our reporter Tina Desiree Berg got shot by less lethal bullets. They're plenty lethal, actually. Last week, covering the Trump ICE Gestapo raiding L.A., and by the way, Trump sending in the Marines and the National Guard. We have been all over it. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And please, this on-the-ground reporting takes a lot of resources. I got to pay our reporters, cameramen, myself, Colin, who's been working 7 days a week to get all this footage out, edited, and the graphics. Please support us as a paying member for as low as 16 cents a day. That's $5 a month, unless you want to wait on CNN to cover it. Unless you want to wait on MSNBC, Fox News, unless you want to depend on the New York Times. We are not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. StatusCoup.com/join, $5 a month. You could pay to become a member to support us. You also get access to our monthly members only call, behind the scenes footage from our on the ground reporting, and merchandise discounts. I want to play one more clip. This is from a combat veteran that Ashley interviewed because they were in D.C., Ashley and John. They were in D.C. for Trump's stupid, ridiculous vanity military parade. This was a very, very powerful interview from a combat veteran. I want you to hear his powerful words starting right here.
What the fuck are you guys going to do to defend democracy? What are you going to do? It's time to rise up. It's time to expel those ICE invaders out of California. Nobody voted for Trump in my home state. Get them the hell out of there. And be willing to have other blue states send troops to assist you. Remember, Hitler destroyed Germany's democracy in 55 days. And this fellow is well on his way to destroying ours.
We are only, what, 4 months?
Yeah, not even 6 months in right now. Look at the damage he's doing. When in your lifetime have you seen a senator slammed to the ground and cuffed like a damn common criminal? I've never seen no shit like this. And they still trying to normalize this nonsense. How far do you want to slide into autocracy? What are you going to do? Wait for the tanks to pull up to get you? If they could snatch children, Mexican children, out of school and elementary school, they damn sure could come lynch us at night.
It's hard to even follow up to that. It's hard to even follow up to that. What you're going to do? Wait for the tanks to roll into your neighborhood? You know, I've tried over the Trump years, and now it's been a decade. It was officially the 10-year anniversary of him rolling down the escalator a couple days ago. I've tried to avoid the F word, but you can't avoid it anymore. This man is a fascist, and he is dispatching Gestapo-like troops, and I think it's only going to get worse. We will stay on this. John is on his way down to the courthouse where that mayoral candidate was just arrested. We might be live later. If there are protests, please, please stick with Status Coup, and please, please support us. It's going to be a busy summer, folks, and we want to be on the ground for as much of it as possible. As of now, we do not have the resources to be everywhere that we want to be. You could help us be on the ground, covering what the corporate media covers up, $5 a month.